this week's video, I decided to focus on the Second Amendment of the 10 amendments that make up the Bill of Rights, which are the first 10 amendments of the Declaration of Independence. The Second Amendment, as it states, is the right to bear arms. It is for a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. In recent years especially, we have seen that this has caused much uproar for people because they're not sure whether or not this is for individual rights or military rights. So for individual rights, is it the right for people to bear arms individually? Is it a constitutional right to protect their homes in a lawful manner or protect themselves? And then some people question that it is meant for a well-regulated militia, which is the collective rights theory, which citizens do not have the right to possess guns. This is the right of local and state federal legislature to form militias that would have the ability to possess guns. In 1939, the U.S. Supreme Court saw their first case with the Second Amendment in the United States versus Miller, and then 70 years later, in 2008, they would try the District of Columbia versus Heller. At the time, Heller challenged the handgun ban within the District of Columbia and questioned whether or not it was constitutional for this ban to be taking place. And the 2008 decision had never really came to a definite choice on whether or not the Second Amendment was an individual or a militia right. Is it an individual right? If it's a militia right, is it a federal issue, or is it at the state level? Well, they did determine that it is a federal thing as a militia. However, now, currently, in our modern times, the Supreme Court has deemed that the right is to protect individual rights. So individuals have the right to bear arms, and it is in a lawful manner, such as self-defense in a home. This is also for a federal or a state legislature. So it goes above broad throughout everybody. We also know that it varies for state to state. Some states have more lenient laws while others do not. Some states have open carry, some states do not. They all also must follow background checks, and you have to have a registered, your gun registered in order to have it on you. A lot of people question the Second Amendment, especially in modern times with the issue of mass shootings, and are our gun control laws strict enough, or are people having the ability to get their hands on weapons that they should not? Should a weapon be in the hands of somebody who is not typically a law-abiding citizen, or somebody who is not using it for a career or a safety matter? This has even come down to the point where people argue that teachers should be carrying such weapons, and then we look at, should these be semi-automatic? Should they be handguns? What should be banned? What shouldn't be banned? So it's still an ongoing debate that I don't imagine will come to an end anytime soon, and it also is a large foundation for a lot of political and races and political issues that we hear around throughout the year. Thank you for listening.